It's week 2 of the NFL preseason, where depth charts and playbooks will be put to the test. It's the Chargers and the Cowboys on Sunday night.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight we move on to week 2 of the preseason, and we've got a compelling matchup here, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts, and a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does, and you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
The kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is out to get this one started. And we are underway in the final game of a busy Sunday. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020. The man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And it certainly hadn't taken Herbert long to earn his status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. Locked and loaded at every snap. And the second he sees an opening, that ball is soaring downfield. You better be on your toes against him on defense. The second you turn your head, they'll burn you.
Throwing first play is Herbert. A little short pass. This is Everett. And some room to maneuver. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Go, hey, go, go, go.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation, you have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run, and I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or two towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
Here's a screen now for Pollard. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. Shifts by him. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle, no mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away. Incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now. It's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth, because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and an incompletion as a result.
Back to the air, Herbert on 2nd down. His throw incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Christian Harris in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they miss-hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. It's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Christian Harris. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 23 yards the pickup there.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. Now Herbert going to shift his guys around. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the option, here's Eckler. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Herbert. And incomplete on the deep ball.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Herbert. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that third down pass. Brings up fourth. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yardage on first and second down.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On second down, it's Stroud. He finds his target, Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Yeah, that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So first and 10 now from the 30. On the draw, it's Pollard. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down. Seemed like they picked an excellent time there, Charles, to go with the draw play.
They certainly did. Caught him a little over-eager trying to get into the backfield and get to the quarterback. They used their speed and their aggressiveness against them, didn't they?
Now they'll change things up. Stroud will throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Let's go.
Pollard will take it up the gut. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Stroud to throw it. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They'll run with Pollard. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Pollard is in. Touchdown, Dallas.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Aubrey now for the PAT. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp. And at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Herbert now. Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Herbert. Finding Williams once more, complete. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another 1st down.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll make it 2nd down. So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive 1st down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
Now 2nd and 3. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He gets it to Johnston. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense could get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Herbert throwing again. To the end zone, but it's It's incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter. But I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Here's Herbert. Open man, it's Johnston. Touchdown, Chargers. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Chargers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they'd only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as the head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
Point after, right down the middle. And that slices the lead down to 17-10. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Meanwhile, Stroud's throw there complete to Allen. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a gain of 16 in the Dallas first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way. Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. Each team now with just one more game after this one, and then we will get it all started as we normally do on the first Thursday after Labor Day.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Toward the sideline, intercepted. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
On first and 10 is Spiller. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Right back to Spiller on 2nd down. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down.
Hooker, he's going to move him around a little bit here.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They go play action. Here's Hooker.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Come on. Hey.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
And while all of that was going on with the sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. Well, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. We'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no harm, no foul. But the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound. And the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Off play action. Cruz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, Fox.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Now they'll change things up.
They'll run on first down. It's Fox.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
I just love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Operating from the gun, Cruz.
That's into the hands of Tolbert. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the nest. Touchdown, Cowboys! A great effort there. He scored on a punt return, and now he's scored through the air. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Aubrey good with the PAT.
And the lead now up to 14.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
A run there on 1st down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Foster on the slant. He's got Davis. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Foster.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies will try and force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Foster.
He gets this out to Spiller.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Back to throw again. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Getting home that time to Marby and Overshown. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, They can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen that.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Janaris Robinson able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
But when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Tosses the out route here to Gallup.
They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
So on 4th down, out is Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal.
This to make it a 3-score game late. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
The Chargers getting set to go.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result. So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here's Foster on 3rd and 2. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. They'll look to throw again.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. On 1st down, Fox. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now it looks like he'll throw here.
That to the sideline, and it's intercepted.
brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. Now the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Cruz. He finds his man, complete. That's Fox. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Now Cruz to throw on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's Fox. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. Well, partner, you and I were excited for this one today, and certainly had its moments. Some good execution at times by both of these offenses. Defenses both made some plays as well. And always a joy to be up here in the booth next to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be up here in the booth next to you as well. Thanks for taking the time, and let's go ahead and get ready for our next one, right? I'll see you in the film room. Get that preparation started now.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.